Yeah, talking about it with the team, we decided that we were just going to go no cell phones locked away in the bags from the time school starts or when students steps on campus to the time they leave. And the reason for that is the disruptions that people have when they take out their cell phone and then they put it away. We just didn't want that distraction. So we did message again a lot of times the parents, hey, if you have an emergency, call the front office. We have 4 people manning phones and we can be contacted real quick, just like the old days. So again, our policy is from the time a student steps on campus to the time they leave, those cell phones are in the bags. And it's worked really well. I mean, it just is. Everybody knows what the culture is. If you have a student that sneaks on a phone or whatever, they have a dead phone they put in there, the campus policy is still no phones. And so what are they going to do? Take it out of the bag? Well, everybody knows they're not supposed to have it. So it's really set the tone doing it that way from start to finish.
Yeah, I think the most exciting thing about our partnership with Generation Faraday is the ability to customize for what the campuses want. So here at Surfside, Principal Franzen had a plan in mind and developed it based on student needs, feedback, staff reaction, and he was able to adjust with the most effective process here at Surfside, and that's what our other campuses would do as well. Right now we're using bags as a tier 2 at our other campuses, and I think once our principals see how successful it's been at Surfside and they have their experiences beyond the beginning of the school year, I think they're going to want to look for customizable solutions as well.
The thing that I've noticed the most is communication amongst students, with not just students, but also with staff. It's just been really nice. They just, they're not like this anymore. They're like this, and they're talking to each other. There's so much communication. I've seen kids that don't know each other actually start talking to each other.
Kids are just more engaged with what's happening in the classroom. They're talking to each other. They're more focused on their Chromebooks and their reading and writing without that feeling that all of us get when we hear the ding or the vibration in our pocket or on our desk, and they're just more locked in on what it is they're working on.
Talking to my peers is going even better. Now that the phone is locked up, we're more engaged in talking now.
I feel like I'm more valued because people are actually looking at me in my eyes when I'm talking. People are actually interacting with me instead of just staring at their phone when I'm talking to them and me feeling like I don't matter.
I feel like the first 2 hours of my morning are complete focused on school. I am able to put all my attention into my schoolwork. I feel that it makes my grades better.
It helps me focus a lot more in class because I'm not sitting there trying to check the time or trying to see how much more longer until we leave this period. I feel a lot more happier in class without my phone.
It transforms the culture of the school, and that's unanimous. Whether people like it or not, whether students like it or not, everybody sees the transformation, and it's a positive transformation. There's no question.
I would just be like, you got to see this. Just got to see this in action. It's just so neat to see the kids really happy to give their phone up for a while and to put it in another place, out of sight, out of mind, and then they just stop thinking about it. And the kids have said, I'm sure you've heard today, that they just got used to it, and it's actually it's a nice break for them.
Well, it has made a difference. I mean, the kids are able to focus in class better than they were before. Even thinking about the cell phone is a distraction, and if that cell phone is available to them, they're going to think about it. But when that cell phone's locked away in a bag and students know they don't have access to it, they don't think about it as often. I've interviewed my kids probably every other week on how it's going for them, and I've heard quotes like, you know what, even having that cell phone locked away makes me think about how often I think about checking my texts. And so it's prompting, metacognition in that sense.
When they first come in the morning, myself and the other security guard are out front. So we're the ones placing the phones in the bags, making sure that they are locked. And if they go through the office, we also have the office ladies that are also helping out and making sure that the phones are getting locked up as they come in.
I think the most critical part to implementation is leadership. So yeah, I will say that some of that leadership starts at the district office with the willingness to engage in changing culture, but it comes down to the leadership of the principal. And Principal Franzen had a vision for what the campus could be from the beginning of time, but with the implementation and the idea of having kids free from their cell phones really came from his leadership and his implementation.
Well, thank you. And it is a team effort. I would say if a school's going to go this direction, they need to have everybody on board. It has to be all staff members. You have one break in the chain, you're going to end up just compromising the whole situation. So it's a team effort. Everybody has to know the policy, everybody has to support the policy, and you'll find overwhelmingly positive results. And to say that, I'm super proud of my kids as well. The kids have just done a magnificent job. Whether they felt like giving up their phones or not, I'm just really proud of them for doing it and doing it with a great attitude. That makes a big difference as well.
Yeah, the advice I would give to another superintendent or principal or director of student support services that is looking at a solution, absolutely reach out to Generation Faraday. What they pride themselves on is a customizable situation. It is not a one-size-fits-all. And I absolutely believe it will transform the culture at your campus and bring students back to interacting with one another, attentive to their classes, attentive to what they're learning, and attentive to one another like the face-to-face. We've lost that in our society. It's breaking my heart. And there is something very valuable about one-to-one interaction and not just interacting over social media and over digital means. This is the most critical thing we can do as humans, and I think the Generation Faraday bags are bringing that back to schools.